Semuanya, saya Jopo Alfu, biasa dipanggil nama JP, Joe atau JP. Kali ini kita akan membahas masalah seputar pull up. Dan saya mengambil cuplikan video dari Jeff Cavalier athletics.com yang membahas tentang pull up, dan ada 7 hal yang pull up yang bisa menghambat latihan pull up Anda. Kita tahu bahwa pull up itu melatih otot sayap dan trapesius bawah. Ya. Namun banyak pefitness yang masih kesulitan melatih pull up dengan baik, bahkan meskipun sudah melakukannya dengan rutin. Jadi di sini akan diberikan 7 persoalan masalah pull up yang sering terjadi di kalangan pefitness dan bagaimana solusinya. Silakan Anda tonton video ini, ya, sangat menarik untuk mengubah baik itu gerakan, posisi tubuh, postur tubuh, posisi tangan, apakah harus lebar atau harus sempit, itu akan diberitahukan oleh Jeff Cavalier ini.
What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, BINARAGA.NET. Today we're talking about pull-ups, and my one and only goal for you by the time this video is over is to make sure you're not only doing them right, but you're doing more of them. And I don't care if you're very advanced and you're doing a lot of pull-ups right now, or if you struggle to even do one. If you avoid the 10 things I'm showing you here and adopt the alternatives that I'm going to show you, I promise you, you're going to start doing more pull-ups starting right away. So let's get right into the first one here, your hand placement. All right, so the first thing you want to make sure you're not messing up is your grip, and I'm talking about the width. Don't go too wide and don't go too narrow. Narrow is where most people screw this up. You want to be right here at about shoulder width apart. If you go in, as you see my hand starting to creep in here, you dramatically shift the load from the back and the lats to right here, the brachioradialis and the forearms, which are ill-equipped to handle your body weight repetition after repetition in a pull-up. When I get my arms in front of my body, I'm essentially creating some version of a reverse barbell curl, except this time, instead of curling a barbell up, I'm curling my body up to a bar. It doesn't matter, the muscles recruited are the same, and if you get those hands a little bit wider, just outside of shoulder width, you're going to be in the perfect position to do the pull-up and recruit the muscles best equipped to do this job. Now that being said, the brachioradialis is a muscle that is going to participate in the pull-up. We just don't want it to be the primary focus of the pull-up. So what I want you to do is stop ignoring the value of this muscle when it comes to performing the overall move. Right? It still needs to be strong. We just don't want it to be the driver of the movement. So are you doing enough to strengthen this muscle? Are you doing enough of these? Reverse hammer curls. Really kind of in this pronated position to really recruit those muscles. Are you doing enough of these to get a stronger forearm? If you're not, I guarantee you, just by incorporating a few sets a week into your normal plan right now, you're going to get stronger brachioradialis and stronger forearms that are going to contribute mightily when you go back to this exercise. The key here is not overlooking any of the muscles that participate in the overall performance of the move. Speaking of that total body tightness, how tight are you actually keeping yourself when you do the pull-up? I mean, are you rigid when you're doing the exercise? Or are your feet looking like this when you're in the move? Right? Kind of crossing them up, letting them dangle down below. All of this is no good. It's counterproductive to your ability to do pull-ups. And again, these are things you can fix just like this. And how do you fix them? You do this. You focus on these key points. When you're in this position here, everything changes. You plug what we call the energy leaks. And unless you've been watching my videos, you may not have been doing this. And if you have, congratulations, because I guarantee you're already doing more pull-ups. But it's key. What you want to do here is get rid of that looseness. Because as you direct your force through that bar, you're actually going to lose that and disperse it out. That's the problem. We want to make sure that we're not, so we create rigidity there. So whatever force I direct down can go through the kinetic chain and back up and allow me to move my body very efficiently. So I point my feet downward by engaging my calves. I straighten out my knees by engaging my quads. I squeeze the glutes. I have my abs engaged much more than just passively hanging there. All of these things allow me to stay tight. And as soon as I add tightness to the equation here, the body starts to fly up and down a lot easier. The process has become more efficient, and my body moves in space with a lot more power and strength. If you do this right now, again, I promise you, you're going to do more pull-ups regardless of how many you're doing right now. Now, in an effort to protect the integrity of this exercise, you probably, I hope, are doing full range of motion. You're allowing yourself to go all the way down so that your elbows actually straighten at the bottom. But are you doing this? Are you unpacking your shoulders? Are you getting so loose that you can almost touch your biceps to your ears at the bottom? Because if you are, that's a major problem for the long-term health of your shoulder. You're lacking shoulder stability in a very vulnerable position. So what I want you to do is fix that. Make sure that even though you go to full extension, that you don't go to an unpacked position. You allow yourself to create some space by simply pulling your biceps a little bit away from your ears, and that will pull your shoulders down and back. Allow for that space between your ears and your shoulder tips. And then from here, perform every single repetition. So go to full extension, but don't destabilize the shoulder in the process. The next thing you might be doing, maybe even inadvertently, is positioning your elbows in the wrong plane as it relates to your body this way. Do you have your elbows straight out to the sides because people tell you that you want to dig your elbows down into your sides to engage your lats? Or are you doing this instead, getting your elbows out in front of your body? Hopefully, it's the latter. You got to put your elbows out in front of your body. It actually is biomechanically more favorable to your ability to do the exercise because you're placing the lats on more stretch. Anatomically, we know that if we can get the elbow out in front of the body, we're going to be in a position to create more stretch on the lats and have better recruitment when we need it the most at the bottom of the rep. Additionally, we know that this is something called the scapular plane. And in the scapular plane, our shoulders just move more naturally. Instead of fighting that and trying to place your arms back behind your body, get them back in the plane that they prefer to be in, right here, angled slightly forward, and your shoulders will feel even better when you do the movement. So get those elbows out in front. Don't drive them out to the side unnaturally. And I promise not just more pull-ups, but more healthy pull-ups for the long run. The next one here is a common one, very common actually, and something we need to pay a lot of attention to. Because when you do this, you take away a lot of the strength you already have, making this exercise more difficult. When you're at the top of the exercise, do you look like this? Are you sort of caved in? In other words, is your chest caved in with your upper back rounded and your elbows out in front? Yeah, your elbows are in a good position, like I just told you, but are you also allowing the rest of this to cave in? Because what you should be doing is not doing that. You should be allowing yourself to still maintain this natural thoracic extension with my elbows out in front of my body. Try this little test. If you were to go to a lat pull down and assume this same position that I had up on this pull-up bar, you're going to find it way more difficult to do the same repetitions with the same weight that you're used to using because you're making it very inefficient. You're taking away all that tightness. You're taking away the mechanical advantages you're providing your body by getting in a thoracic extension. So you want to make sure that instead of doing it like this, you fix that. And you don't just fix it here on the lat pull down, you fix it back at the pull-up bar the same way. Get through the bar. Allow yourselves to get your body angled backwards while maintaining your elbows out in front. And this will allow you to pull at this angle to recruit more of the back muscles more favorably. And again, the strength is there. You're just taking away the strength because you're positioning your body in the wrong way. The next issue here is one that's actually fixed by adopting what I just told you in the last tip. And that is, we don't want to be caved in. Instead, we want to actually be attacking the bar with our chest. But I said our chest. Not like this, not our chin. How many times do you see people do this? They're literally doing this pull-up with the goal being just to make sure they get that chin right up to the bar, and if they get it, they got the rep. First of all, they're probably about 6 inches too short, and they're just reaching with the length of their neck to get that chin up over the bar. That's not what we're talking about. That's not the goal. So the easy way to fix this is to, 1, attack the bar with your chest like I said, and number 2, use your chest as the goal. That's the metric. Get through the bar. Get that chin above the bar. It's going to require more strength, but guess what? With the tips you've already added here, you're going to probably find it's much easier to get your body up there. So attack that bar and reach for the bar with your chest. That's going to place a better visual for you to actually strive for. That's going to make the overall repetition much easier to get to the full contraction that you're probably not getting to right now.
Semoga bermanfaat. Setujukah Anda bahwa investasi yang terbaik adalah investasi terhadap diri kita sendiri. Kita tidak mungkin bisa menyuruh orang untuk melakukan push up atau pull up, dan kita lah mendapatkan ototnya. Memang kesehatan bukanlah segala-galanya, tapi tanpa kesehatan segala-galanya tidak berarti. Selain itu, kekuatan dan kesehatan mental kita ternyata dipengaruhi oleh kekuatan fisik kita. Jadi kita harus melatih fisik kita supaya kita bisa mengatasi segala tantangan kita. Saya Joko bersama BINARAGA.NET. Kami mengajak Anda membangun generasi baru yang lebih cerdas dan di BINARAGA.NET, kami selalu percaya bahwa setiap orang pasti bisa memiliki tubuh yang ideal dan sehat. Dengan subscribe, like, dan share video ini, Anda turut membantu membangun Indonesia sehat dan kuat. Salam jelas fitness, saya JP.